Will was a little black boy that was at a store one day. A YT woman lied and said that he was catcalling at her and whistling at her. Then at night, the people that were related to her, YT people, went into his house, took him, they unalived him. They also made oils out of him. They did a whole bunch of egregious things to him. When his mom finally saw him, she couldn't recognize him. They also made oils out of him. All because a YT woman lied on him. Took him. And this YT woman lived a full entire life. He was a little boy. This YT woman just admitted before she passed away that she was lying.
So she lived a whole life.
That is the story of Emmett Till.
So she lived a whole life with that lie?
Yep.
Damn.
Okay, so you cannot say I'm victimizing myself when the stories of my history are that, Anaconda. You also cannot say that I hate YT people because that is not true. Okay. Because I've been up here and I've been nothing but cordial with you the entire time. And I knew that you were a YT person. Even when you called me a bigot for not following the colonizers' religion, I did not say anything about your race the entire time. So you have to understand that what you did was wrong. If you would like to ask your questions, as long as you can be cordial and not keep talking over everybody up here, we can move forward.
Okay, so the question that I have is what I've noticed, which is why I said what I said towards you, was that when I talk to other people that have talked about the history that have gone on with black slavery and all of that, that they bring it up and then they like point the finger towards white people, and so I assumed and like jumped on the defensive card as a white woman that I thought you were going in that area in a negative route towards pointing fingers at white people, which you wasn't. You were spreading the awareness of a story of what happened to a little boy. That's tragic. Yes. I heard the story about what happened with that man that got his throat stepped on by a cop, and that cop is in prison. He's a YT cop. Yeah, that's pretty tragic. I don't know why people just do that. I don't know. I mean, those two are in prison, I believe, for that. But one of the things that gets me was that my question was, did you choose not to believe in God because of those events in your life? And is it because of the slavery that happened in the past? And why do other black people get so negative and defensive towards white people when it comes to the
I can only answer for myself because you already acknowledged that we are not all the same person. Right. I did not leave religion because of slavery. I left religion because the Bible is a fairy tale. Also, a lot of black people will have a defensive tone when it comes to a religion that was used to enslave us for hundreds of years.
Can I tell you that I think, this is what I believe.
No, and I have a picture proof that there were triple K members in their white hoods inside of churches, that most of them would go to church. I have actual historical texts. They would go to church, and after they would leave church, they would pick a random black man, and they would even give auction off his body parts, who could get the best part to take home, like a taxidermy of a deer that they hunted. So of course people are going to be like, whoa, Christians did that. So yeah, they're gonna feel a type of way because we were not the ones using Christianity in a negative way. They were.
I never heard about that. I should do some research. Where do I find that?
Well, you also never heard about Emmett Till, so maybe you need to just look into Black history more. Just because it didn't affect you doesn't mean that you shouldn't know.
I was told that it didn't apply to me and that it didn't matter and I wasn't allowed to learn about it.
Of course they taught you that because you're on the other side of it. But Black children don't get that luxury. We do learn about it. And which is why we are on the defense, because we need to protect ourselves because these things are not over. Recently in Orlando, one of my friends was put up on a noose. So clearly we're still being targeted. People are losing their lives in the street just because they skin tone, and police officers pulling them over and doing things to them. So this is not over. So it does apply to you. It's not over, and it applies to everybody because we built America on slavery. Black Americans built America, even down to the music. Country music was created by Black Americans. So if you want to sit here and say like, oh, this isn't, like, you didn't know that this applied to you, guess what? Everything, even the GPS you use in your car was created by a Black American. The peanut butter you put on your sandwich came from a Black American.
Cell phones were created by a Black man.
And right now, the battery inside your phone was created by a little Black baby in a cobalt mine. So yeah, this does apply to you. Everything around you came from us.
Wait, can you elaborate on that and how that about the battery thing?
Yeah, free Congo. There's children in the Congo in cobalt mines mining for the very thing that makes the batteries in your phone. And everything that you have in America was built off of slavery. Did you know slaves used to even breastfeed the babies of their slave masters? Like we used to do all of that. It's called a mammy. We did all of this. So it for them to teach you that this does not apply to you, that's not true. Your entire America was built on us. And they didn't end slavery because they wanted slaves to be free. They ended slavery because economically people in the north could not uphold slavery. They could not uphold owning people. So they made a better business choice. They didn't care about our freedom because up until the 90s, people were still in plantation because nobody told them that they were free.
It was still plantations in like 2013, I think. And like
Actually, in October, a YT couple adopted 5 Black children and had them in a stable doing slavery. They were doing slavery. They woke them up. They got 1 meal and made them literally take care of their land. And the only reason they found out was because of a
I got a
bonus check.
question. Do you guys think humans are dumb?
No,
what you say, Jay?
Do you guys think that humans are like dumb or stuff
no.
like that?
Humans are smart.
Okay.
No, there's different IQ tests.
Some humans are smart. Some humans are not as smart. But,
Okay,
yeah,
so
wait. But being smart depends. Someone could be smart in math, but not smart in something else. So it
yeah,
depends.
I get what you're saying, but there's always. Do we need a president in America?
What that got to
Yes.
do? You said, "Can I come up there?" You're wrong. What are we wrong about?
About
None of this
everything,
is matter.
bro. That you don't need God.
Okay.
So I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to build on.
Why
Can I
do
also
we
say
need
something?
God?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, why
Can I
is
say
it?
something?
Hold on, we got a new person up here, Anaconda. Why do we need God, Jay?
Because He gave us life. Number one, right? Hold
You
on a
can't
second.
prove that. That's a presupposition. You're presupposing that God gave everybody life.
Okay.
That's not
Do
true.
humans need other humans?
No, a human can be independent and survive on its own.
You just said some humans are dumb, and
What about
why?
society?
Then
Society
why do
goes
we
for
have
that.
a president, bro?
Because we live in a democracy. Ask them. I don't know. I didn't ask to be in a patriarchal society.
Well,
Why do we have
communists have a
laws set in
president
place?
too, right?
Some people have dictators.
The patriarchy
Yeah, but
doesn't
communists
exist.
have presidents.
We have
too,
a
right?
president because that's the structure.
Anaconda. What do you mean the patriarchy doesn't exist?
Okay.
We live in a system run by men. That means patriarchal. That's all
No,
it
that's
means.
a skill tactic. That's a skill tactic.
Let's say
No.
we have anarchy.
There are
wait,
matriarchal societies as well where there are women who run them. That's all that word means.
Let's say we have
Men and
anarchy.
women need each other. Men
Wait
and
a
women need
minute,
each
homie.
other to
Anaconda,
survive.
shut the fuck. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice.
Let's. Why you get triggered, bro? All right. Let's say we have
No,
anarchy.
not by you. I'm not. You're not the problem, dude.
Anaconda, Anaconda, go. What's the song name?
Anaconda's been just saying
Anaconda's
things.
my homie, man. Don't talk about it like that, man.
I don't care.
I'm
She's
just kidding. Yeah, I don't know.
literally
Follow
just
me,
yapping.
dude. Follow me.
Just
Follow
stop
me
yapping.
too, bro. Jesus is king, bro.
All right, Jay. Look, Jay.
What?
All right, listen.
Hell.
Okay.
No, Jay. Look,
Say,
I
go
want
on.
to get your answer to the prompt. You do the prompt up here. Let's
Okay.
get some-
Anarchy, right?
Conversation. So you don't need a God or Bible to figure out your own purpose in life. You create that yourself. What's your opinion on the topic?
Okay. Purpose is what? What is purpose? Something that I want, right?
I mean, the definition.
No, purpose means the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists.
Okay. So let's say I have I wanna disappear the people that have big nose. You know what I'm talking about, right? Let's say
What?
they call me
No,
he. They call me he. You know what I'm talking about, right? And
no,
my purpose in life is to disappear a group of people that have a start of. You know what I mean?
He's talking about
no. We don't know what you mean. You haven't said
Okay.
anything.
He's talking about
Let's say his
unaliving
purpose in
LGBT.
life is doing that, disappearing a certain group of people. Okay, do you think that's
What does
cool?
that mean?
He's talking
That's
about
what he
unaliving
liked, right?
LGBT. He's talking about unaliving LGBT.
Okay, Jay. Are
I just
you?
don't want to say it because
What?
I don't want to get banned, bro. You know?
Why are you saying that? Why are you even
Because-
thinking about that, Jay?
Because people have different purposes. But when you
Is that your
when
purpose, Jay?
when you do your own, let's say I
Jay, do
want
you
to.
think that's your purpose?
No, bro, but Jeffrey Dahmer's purpose was kind of messed up, don't you think?
People can
I don't think
follow,
that
but
was his
people can
purpose.
follow a God and still have that type of purpose.
No,
and
they
that, and
don't.
be,
Not Jesus.
Jeffrey Dahmer actually gave his life to Christ.
yeah.
But when it comes
they
down
At
to
can.
it,
the
that
end.
wasn't his purpose. That
And you
we
know-
don't. I don't believe that Jeffrey Dahmer was created to do that thing. What I do believe is that brains that have issues, like most 98% of people who do those types of things, do have a mental illness. I think that when people have mental illnesses, their impulses and the way that they conduct themselves will be different than most. So I don't think that was his purpose on earth. I think that's just how he ended up. Because he had several signs and his parents just ignored
then
it.
what
They
was
could
his
have
purpose?
intervened.
I don't get it.
Right.
You gotta ask him.
And Jay, let me ask you this too: does God give everybody a purpose?
Wait, hold on. I gotta say, man, SS
No,
Jay
wait.
kind of nice, bro. I thought she was gonna be like, oh man.
Just wait. Does God give everybody a purpose? Jay?
Does God give everybody a purpose? I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
God, bro. I can't answer that. I don't
So
know.
God doesn't give
That's
people-
fair enough. That's fair enough.
Cool. God doesn't. You don't know if God gives.
I mean,
you
that's
a
fair
purpose.
enough. He's the first person
Well,
to
God
admit that he
gave us
doesn't
free
know
will.
what God.
God gave us free will, so I believe He gives us a choice to do whatever we want, right?
To make your own purpose, create your own purpose.
I'm guessing, bro. That's what it sounds like. Like if we want to choose to go fall away from Him, or you know what I mean, be closer to Him. And that's what happens when you don't follow Him. You just fall away, right? So you start doing stuff like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know what I mean?
There's plenty of successful atheist people.
I'm not saying they cannot be.
So they
successful.
found their purpose. They found their purpose and went on with life.
And that's fine. That's nothing wrong with that.
So that proves the point. You don't need God to figure out what you need in your own life.
Is that what we're talking about? Like being successful?
That's the background. No. Find your purpose. Find your purpose.
Oh, like your purpose in life. Oh, okay. Then, bro, then you don't even disagree with me then.
So we don't need God for our purpose.
And you don't need nothing to follow a purpose either.
No, you don't. Hey, wait, did y'all notice that this definition says have as one intention or objective? And then in the example, it says God has allowed suffering, even purposed it. Crazy statement.
Where does it say that, bro? Is that a Muslim
I didn't even catch
it says
that.
at the bottom. How did I catch that?
No. I said I didn't even catch that.
Oh, for real? It literally says God has allowed suffering, even purposed it. In the example, do you guys not see that?
I don't know what purpose means then, bro. You guys, I don't think you guys know what
it's
purpose
right there on the screen, dude.
Oh, let me read it. Can you read it, bro? I'm kind of like illiterate.
I'll read it for you.
I read it. The reason
can you read it slow?
Something is
can you read it slow?
Just trolling, bro.
Yeah, they
all right.
I'm not trolling.
Yeah, you
bro.
asking me too much. You done. I'm not doing it again. No.
Listen, I'm looking for what I'm
saying. Yeah, you're trolling. We got 2 new guests then.
Drop this guy, please.
What's up, Nehemiah?
Find the truth, bro. Find the truth. Jesus is truth, bro.
All right.
You go find it first. All right. What's up, Nehemiah?
Hello.
What's good, Nehemiah? What's your opinion on the topic?
Well, I just
Wait, what year were you born?
2002.
Oh, okay. Rick, what year were you born?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
No, the other person got up here.
2000.
He good.
You gotta echo, Rick. You gotta put on your notifications or go to your home screen and come back. Kang, I feel like you're over the ages of like 30, like you might be in your late 20s, like maybe in the mid 20s. Kang, are you like over the age of 20?
I'm 34.
I knew it. All right, go ahead, Nehemiah. I don't know why I called that. I was like, you might be in the 30s, but I didn't want to offend her. All right, go
so
ahead.
I just want to get everyone's understanding on a basic fundamental question on: do they believe the universe is teleological or disteleological?
Define teleological.
Meaning having purpose.
No. You came up here. We already have a prompt. You can either answer the prompt, but we're not doing doing all this extra shit today.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. You're making a claim, I'm asking you
Do
to
you
like.
want to answer the prompt?
Yes, yes, I would love to, but before we do that, we have
Okay,
to
so you
understand what
don't need
these
a
things mean.
God or a Bible to figure out your own purpose in life. You create that for yourself. Do you agree or disagree?
Again, I need to understand
Do you
what
agree or disagree?
you're making. Like, can I talk?
Okay. Next person. Rick, you don't need a God or a Bible to figure out your own purpose in life. You create that for yourself. Agree or disagree?
Do I have an echo right now?
Yeah, but I'll mute up. Agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Why or why not?
Well, I mean, without what purpose do you have outside of God is my question. Like right now, just by yourself, just living life. What purpose do you have?
I'm figuring out as I know. I'm still discovering what I want to do. I don't know if my
I feel
career.
like my purpose in life was being a mom. I'm not one of those people that can like sing and dance and do a whole bunch of like doing all that. When I met my kid, I was like, yeah, this what I meant to do. And something that people have always like noticed in a kid, other little kids were like drawn to me, like they would always want to hang out.
Your bars are low.
I mean, they would want me to babysit them. People, my purpose. Oh, here we go with this again.
And
how can he hear me?
Rick Grimes, you have an echo.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect you and re-add you. But yeah, no, I do know my purpose. It's been the same purpose the entire time, if I'm being honest. It never changed. Since I was a kid, I couldn't understand why kids were like drawn to me, why people always wanted to be around me that were younger than me. I was tutoring kids, I was doing all this stuff. People have always seen me as nurturing. I've always been the mom friend, even if we go out to like do something, making sure everybody gets home safe, taking care of everybody. That's my purpose, being a mom. That's my purpose stuff. Not every woman.
So being a mom is your purpose in life.
Yep.
Yeah. Purpose.
Huh. See, that's temporary though. Like, what happens if you die?
You don't know.
You don't
Did I
know.
die a mom? I'm a mom forever. I gave birth to multiple babies. I'm about to give birth to another baby in like 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm a mom. Even if I pass away, it will even say like on my headstone, remember to be a mom. That's who I am. And it's not gonna change. Even when my kids become adults, they'll still come to me for counsel. They'll still be like, Mom, I'm nervous about asking this girl on a date. Mom, I'm about to get married. Are you gonna come to my wedding? Mom, are you, even if my children are adults, they'll still need me as a mom. That won't change. And essentially, I can go mentor other children who don't have a mom. I could foster children. I can always be a mom. Since I had a baby, I'm always gonna be a mom. That's it.
I don't know. I think that's hello. Mic's off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like showing. I think that's a pretty bleak kind of purpose. If I know it sounds kind of weird, but I just think like there has to be more to that. I mean, okay, you're raised.
That's not enough for you?
Yeah, I don't think so because
but it's enough for me. So that's all that matters. Because it's my purpose. It's my life.
So what's your purpose?
Wait, does he not understand that? Wait, does he not understand that? Somebody's purpose. No, it's not even that. Like somebody's purpose could literally be like they could literally be purposed to just exist. And they exist and they pass away. And that was all they were purposed for. They didn't have a special talent or anything extra, and they were complete in how they felt about life. They were like, this was enough for me. So me saying I'm a mom and it's enough for me, and it's not a bleak purpose because I have the weight of the world on my shoulders in raising little boys that don't become abusers or predators or the worst thing you can think of. That is enough for me. It may not be enough for you, which is why it's not your purpose. It's mine. You can't become a mom. You're a man. So my purpose might not be fitting for you, but I think it's a lot more of a purpose than just to say, yeah, I need to spread the gospel, man. Like, I think it's a pretty good purpose, Rick. At least my purpose. I know.
Okay. What do you say about what about people that are born in this world, and all they do is just, they harm other people, they unalive people, they start genocides, they start all these things, and then they're gone.
I don't think that that's their purpose. I think that because the human brain is allowed to have impulses and such, that they're allowed to do things that are off course for their actual purpose. When you think about people who do bad things, like Hitler was very charismatic. He had a way with words. Essentially, he could have used that same thing to inspire an entire group of people to do something good, but instead he did it to do something bad. So essentially, his purpose was not to do a mass genocide, but he did a mass genocide.
Because Rick, look at it like this: if his dad never criticized his passion for art, his life could have been very different. His life could have been
Nehemiah said that if someone defines their purpose to harm people, but guess what? They didn't define their purpose to harm people. They just did. Hitler never said that his purpose was to do a mass genocide. He never said that publicly.
So wait. So to define a purpose, you have to say it out loud?
No, but that would be an assumption. He could have felt that he was purpose for something else, but that's just what he ended up doing.
Yes, I'm asking you. So if I came out loud and I said my purpose is to harm people, am I justified in that?
That's your purpose. That's how you feel that's your purpose.
So I'm justified.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't intervene and stop you from harming people.
That's fine. But am I justified in doing that because that's my purpose?
If you say your purpose is to harm people, you're justified in feeling like that's your purpose. That's what you feel like you were born to do.
So you're surrendering ethics then?
I am justified.
No,
I am justified in interfering with your purpose if it is going to unalive people. Like, what?
She's saying like it's justified to yourself. That doesn't mean it's justified in society because that's what you proclaim your purpose to be.
Wait.
You're just justified to yourself.
Wait. Why should I care about society? Why should I care about society?
No, but do you see that, Nehemiah? Nehemiah, I just said my purpose was to be a mom, but then Rick said, well, that's pretty bleak. You could have more to that. But I'm saying, no, that's enough for me. That's what I believe my purpose is. So essentially, just because I accept my purpose for myself doesn't mean everybody's going to accept it for me.
Yeah. So the question I wanted to ask at the beginning
of harming people and saying that this is my purpose to harm people, that is perfectly fine. That's what you feel like you were born to do. However, I am allowed to interfere to stop you from harming people.
That's cool, but you're saying, you're going on the record saying that if I said my purpose was to intentionally SA people, am I correctly justified in doing that?
Yeah, in yourself, you are justified in yourself to do that. But that doesn't mean it's okay. And that doesn't mean that I'm not justified in interfering to stop you from doing that.
Why is that not okay?
What you feel is your purpose.
Why is that not okay?
Why is it not okay to SA people?
In your worldview, yes.
You know what's crazy? I want everybody to realize this, right? Whenever y'all come up with hypotheticals, y'all say the most extreme things.
How is that?
My main thing is, why would you even think to say that your purpose could be SAing people?
Do you not realize there are people that are in prison right now that go on the record saying that this is my life's purpose, my life's journey,
and they're justified to believe that about themselves, but that doesn't mean that that's true.
And I'm asking you, but you just said they can create their own purpose, so they're justified.
That is their own purpose. That's justified in themselves. That doesn't mean justified in the justice system. That doesn't mean justified in society. That just means justified within yourself. Because I feel like in myself, it's okay for me to be just a mom. But in other people's worldview, they would say, you need to be more than that, girl. You need to have your own degrees. You need to be working. You need to be doing this. You need to be independent of men. But in my worldview, it's okay to be a housewife and a mom. Yeah. So again, my purpose being this and me accepting that for myself doesn't mean that society and the justice system and everybody else will accept it for me. What are you not getting?
Okay. So you just said justice system. Are you saying that if the justice system says something's wrong, it's wrong? And if it's right,
you do realize that also in my purpose, it doesn't affect other people. In your purpose, it affects people outside of you.
I asked the question.
In my purpose, it does not affect, listen, your purpose to SA people involves other people. So then you're interfering with what their purpose on earth might be. But me having a purpose of being a mom has nothing to do with the rest of society or all the women or saying, women's purpose on earth is to do this.
Wait, so the way you raise your kids has
directly
nothing to do with
affecting other people.
Wait, so the way you raise your kids has no impact on society? Are you actually going on the record saying that?
Did I say that? Did I say that out of my mouth?
You
Did I just say that? No, listen to what I just said. What I just said is your worldview of, oh, my purpose could be to SA people is interfering with other people's purposes negatively. Me saying my purpose is to be a mom and a housewife, and I'm actively doing that, is not interfering with society in any negative way. I'm not abusing children. I'm not harming my husband. I'm not doing any of those things. But yours is an intent to harm. So that is the difference.
So can I ask a question?
You're not listening because you're just here to debate, but like we can debate, but we can't debate when people are not like listening to each other.
I heard you.
You're making me talk in circles and say the same thing over and over again.
I heard you. Based on what you just said, why? Now I'm asking you a simple question. Please answer it. You just said negative. I'm asking you, in your worldview, what's negative? What's negative? And you said harming people. Why should we not harm people?
Is wrong.
Why should we not harm people in your worldview?
You should not SA people because that is against their will. Like what?
Wait, what do you mean will?
Bruh.
Are we playing semantics or like are we being serious?
I'm asking you. I don't know if you understand. I don't know if you understand the basic argument. I'm asking you.
No,
I'm asking you a simple.
Playing semantics here. SA is wrong because you're traumatizing somebody and taking their ability to consent.
Is wrong either.
I didn't make that. No one said that. No one said that. So you don't even understand the argument.
We're talking about God.
You don't even understand the argument. I'm not asking. I agree with her. What do you
We're talking
understand?
about God, and you're just sitting here asking on some. You're playing semantics. You're like, oh, what does will mean?
I'm asking a basic ethical question.
Listen to what is happening here. You're saying what is negative to you. What does will mean? If I'm telling you that this is wrong because it traumatizes people and it takes away their ability to consent to something, then it's wrong. Then that's subjective because somebody else might see it as right.
I'm tired of this shit. Just want to say that. I'm tired of this.
Like, why are we going in circles here? What does this have to do with the topic? You still haven't even answered the topic.
Because you don't even have an account for ethics.
Your purpose. You don't need a God or a Bible to figure out your own purpose in life. Do you agree or disagree?
No one said that.
Do you agree or disagree?
Bro, this is the prompt.
The prompt says you don't need a God or a Bible to figure out your own purpose in life. You create that for yourself.
So now you're shifting the goalpost because you can't answer
the goalpost has never moved. The goalpost has been right there.
You shifted it by moving to this bullshit.
You said negative. You're the one making claims. You said negative.
No, the goalpost has been on the background. The goalpost has been on the background. It has not moved. You have not
can't justify ethics.
I literally went for a second and tried to entertain you, but now you're going off so far and it has nothing to do with the topic. We're not even talking about God anymore. I don't need to justify my worldview. It's wrong to SA people. You need to justify why you think it's okay. Will you answer the prompt and get back into the conversation so we don't have to sit here and do this for an hour? Yes or no?
Right.
Do you want to engage with the prompt?
Do you want to answer a question?
All right, bye.
Thank God. Thank God.
We ask the questions around here,
like,
buddy.
I don't. It's not even about ethics. We're asking if people can determine their own purpose in life, and you're still sitting here trying to do this loop around ethics. Well, guess what? What I view as ethics, somebody might view as unethical, crazy. That it's subjective, right?
One thing I hate, and I remember
philosophy.
I remember months ago.
Philosophy is bullshit.
Yeah, I remember months ago somebody asked me that same question, like, in your worldview, why is SA wrong? Like, why are you even asking that? Because my same
I don't need to justify my worldview.
Yeah, and this thing, because my same reason for why SA a child is wrong, a Christian would probably have the same reason. You're taking advantage of a child that cannot defend itself. You're traumatizing them.
Or consent.
And they didn't even consent to it. It is
but
no
that's not even the point. You have to think about this. We don't need to justify our worldview. In no instance in the real world where I go outside and touch grass and breathe air and look at the sky, has anybody ever asked me to define my fucking worldview? Nobody cares as long as I'm not harming anybody. So again, even people with different religions and different backgrounds can agree like on one thing, because several Christians will say, no, it's wrong to touch a kid. And the same way I would say it's wrong to touch a kid. It doesn't have anything to do with the book or God. We know that it's wrong to touch children. But some people, in their religion or in their culture, it's okay to marry children and consummate them at their first menses. They think it is right. They think it's okay. So again, it's subjective. Not something to sit here and argue about worldviews all damn day. The last time I argued worldview was with that King guy who was a fucking was a Muslim. So I'm not doing that today. He didn't want to answer the prompt. If he wants to answer the prompt, he can come back up here. That's simple. What's up, King? Are you Christian?
Me?
Yeah, I don't think you're
No.
Christian, but
No.
Yeah, Nehemiah, if you
spiritual?
want to answer the prompt, you can come back up. Not do the riffraff. Come on up if you want to answer the prompt. We never
I
got the
didn't
answer.
say SA was wrong objectively. If you listen to the end of the conversation, I literally just said in some people's culture they would see it as right. So that's subjective.
Right.
Is anybody listening to me?
Well, we got any questions?
I'm
I
listening
don't
to
think he was.
Yeah, I'm making it very clear that it's wrong to me and maybe another person in a religion or maybe a spiritual person, a Christian, and me sitting in one room saying, yeah, did you hear about that baby that got SA'd? Yeah, that was wrong. But we don't need to have the same background or religion to agree to that. We just know it's wrong. But then somebody in their culture, in their country, is marrying a child and consummating them at their first period, and they think it's right. That's subjective.
Right. And see, this is the thing about those who think it's right to marry children, right? Or do stuff with children. They can't justify it in a way that even makes sense. The people who are against touching children, their side of the argument just makes more sense, right? So they can't even form a opinion in their head about it that makes this thing right to do, because even they're not going to understand their own logic about it, because you need to literally bullshit to justify it. You need to make up bullshit. I'll tell you this. Not gonna say who, but I know someone that SA'd somebody, and y'all want to hear one of the justifications they gave for why they did it?
What was it?
They said it was the Viagra.
What?
They said it was the reason they did what they did to a child is because, oh, I couldn't control myself. It was a Viagra. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, my dad's on that. Is that correlated?
Huh?
My dad's on that. Is that correlated? You know,
No,
my dad's chemically castrated, right?
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, so the only way he can operate is by getting those little monthly subscriptions of the blue pill.
I think
Is that correlated?
I think it's supposed to help people with like erectile dysfunction.
But yeah, but when you are on it, you're you're like your drive is different.
Yes.
And I think that if we were to ask my father why he did it, the same way that this person used it as a weird ass justification,
right,
he might say the same thing.
Right.
That's a weird.
But see, this is the thing, right? Jayla's dad might go like, "Oh, that makes sense to me, right? Because they will both do that." But to us,
thing exactly.
But to us, the majority of people that are against it, we're not going to be able to understand that. We're not even going to be able to accept the logic of that, because it's like, that's your reason for doing it. Viagra.
I mean, I have a pretty high drive. I never looked at a child. Naturally, right. I just have a high drive. I never was like, wow, I can't get an adult to do it. So
yeah,
that's weird.
People who seek children are just weaklings.
Nehemiah, just stop yapping. He said they're not wrong though, just wrong to you. Yeah, because what we just explained to each other, they might view that as a valid justification because they both did the same thing and would say, yeah, that's what happened to me. That's why I did it too. That's why. So it's okay because it was because of a medication. But we're saying it's weird and it's wrong because it's not a justification to us.
Somebody put that man on the
subjective.
Somebody put that man on the watch list, man.
It's not even a strong justification. Like, even I can't rationalize that or make sense of it.
Somebody who did the same thing could rationalize it, could say, yeah, I did that too. That's why I did it.
Right.
The same way, like, one woman could have a baby and she'll say it's because she wanted to have children and she's wanted to do this her whole life. So her and the other mother can agree, like, yeah, this is feeling, this was, we did
So
because
was
it
he
was like our
saying
life
he
purpose. We
was
love having
Christian
children.
or
But a
what?
woman with no kids would say like he never told us. But like a woman with no kids would be like, that's pointless. Like you're having children for no reason. Like that's not gonna fulfill you. Yada yada yada. But that's because they're on the outside looking in. Worldview. That's what that means. Like I don't know if he's Christian. Kang. He never told us his religion. I think Justice Christian. I feel like I've run into Justice.
No, I'm definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, looking at your bio, you're not. Okay.
Yeah, no. Please don't
All right.
ever send me like that. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you, but no, I'm not.
What are you atheist, agnostic, a different religion? Like
Well, I was raised. I'm sorry. Can you hear me filing my nails?
No. Oh, now we can because you mentioned it.
no, I am, but it's not distracting me.
Okay, so
No,
I
I already heard it, but it didn't.
I was raised Catholic most of my life, and it's not the same as Christian, but I feel like they're very like there are some similarities. But I could never like stick to it. Like I just feel like it's very much like an excuse to like make yourself believe you're a good person, but not actually like conceding to those beliefs, you know? And so I sort of separated myself from the church because I feel like I can be a good person without someone telling me why I should be a good person, you know? I could learn that for myself. I'm an adult, I have a brain. And so I understand what things are wrong and what things aren't. I don't need Jesus to whisper in my ear and be, well,
I got a question about
Yeah.
that. So you're saying you know you're a good person, just inherently you don't need God to tell you, you don't need a Bible, something like that, right?
Mhm.
So how do you know you're a good person? Like just
Well, I don't know I'm a good person, but I know I could be a good person without it
but how do you know that?
because I am. Like, what do you
So
mean? Like,
okay, here's my other question. That's fair. So if you were put in a situation where, let's say, your character, right? Your characteristic,
Wait.
kind of.
Wait. You asked a good question. Let me get your what's a good person?
No.
Idea of a good person is
Yeah, go ahead.
different for a lot of people. So what's
I don't think anyone's a good person. I don't think I'm a good person.
Well, that's pessimistic.
No, the reason I say that because I was saying this right. If you were put in a situation where you had to have your characteristic, the person who you think you are, right? Like things that you think about yourself that you might think make you a good person. And let's say you were put in an environment where those characteristic, right? Your flaws, your imperfections, the good things about you, the bad things about you, and all those things you were put like in a pressure chamber, right? Where you were made to do things that you would normally never do, or you were made to act in a way you would normally never act. And then your true self, right? How you normally, because this idea of saying you're a good person, I don't think anyone's a good person. I think we can strive to be a good person, but I don't think anyone can be a good person. I think we more so think we are, you know.
well, okay. Wait. Oh, you got it. Every time I speak up.
Oh, I'm sorry. What should I?
Just unmute up real quick and then just unmute when you want to speak. Okay, for an example, right? Some people think Kendrick Lamar is a good person, right? Now, I don't dislike Kendrick Lamar, but some people, I'm just using him as an example. Some people think Kendrick Lamar is a good person. Now, Kendrick Lamar did a recent concert. He was on stage, had Dr. Dre there. Kind of find out, Dr. Dre is a P3DO. He likes to touch children. Kendrick Lamar is supposedly against P3DOs. He was on stage hugging him up, endorsing him and all this. And it's like, I don't think a good person would hang around.
You're missing a flaw in what he proposed.
What?
That she's being pressured. She's in a chamber being pressured to do things that she would normally never do. So the pressure is what's making her do it. Not that this is who
That's
she
what I'm
is.
saying. How can you say doing something you would never do is your true self? That doesn't even make sense.
When you're pressured inside of a pressure chamber to do things that you would never do, that's literally like against her will.
No, here's what I mean by that. I'm not saying like she's being. Well, I guess you could say she's, in a sense, that's kind of saying she's being forced to do something. But what I mean is, I think we all think we're good people, and we try to be good people, but ultimately, I think in ourselves we're not. Humans aren't perfect, and I don't think anyone's perfect. And I think when things happen around us, or like when we hit rock bottom, or when things just go bad or sour, something affects us emotionally, I think just the like our real self like typically comes out, and we get
Okay, so that
angry.
just means that that's how you view yourself, because I have been at rock bottom. I have done so many things that were at rock bottom, and it never made me go out of myself to do things that I would never do.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Even
Also,
if somebody put me in a situation and said, touch this child or be unalive, I'm going to be unalive. I'm not touching a child. That's not who I am. That's not
yeah,
my true
right.
self. That's not in
Exactly.
my nature. So no matter what you put against me, like if somebody put me in a room and was like, go unalive that dog, I'm not unaliving a dog. I'm just gonna have to be unalive. There's literally no reason for me to unalive this animal. This animal is not attacking me. This animal is just existing. Nothing
Yeah.
could make me step outside of my character just because
Yeah.
I'm in a situation where it's like, oh, do it or unalive. Okay, I'm gonna unalive. I'm not touching
Yeah.
kids.
Also, saying that because you're at rock bottom or you're going through some emotional distress doesn't mean that that your character will change. Like, your character remains the same. It's just a matter of how emotionally strong are you, how mentally strong are you, in the sense that you can control the things that you do and the actions that you're causing. Because I can be in rock bottom. I could have been fired from my job, and like my car broke
Didn't
down
Diddy
on the
say the reason why
highway.
he Didn't Diddy say the reason why he did that to the Casey was because he was at rock bottom
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
that's
his
the thing, is like
apology?
you have to understand that
But
even though you're
people don't
vulnerable
understand the
and like
explanation
you
for
are,
behavior is not explanation for behavior is not a justification of that behavior,
yeah, you can,
right?
yeah,
So
you're not a child.
like
Like,
being an
children
adult, you can't
will,
be like, not even just children, like hear me out, like if somebody is open and honest and says, when I was a child I was abused, so I put my hands on my kids, that's an explanation of why they put their hands on their kids, but that doesn't justify
no,
hitting
I mean,
kids.
like, children will like have like a ruckus, and they'll be like, well, you didn't buy me this toy, and because you didn't buy me this toy, I'm gonna cause a scene at the Walmart, and I'm gonna cry, and you're gonna have to drag me out. But those are children. They don't understand that because something didn't go their way, that crying and doing this ruckus isn't gonna make anything better. As an adult,
But
you need to
again, Jess,
understand that
and
even though
even as
you're
a
going through
child,
like even
they
though you're
can
going through a
explain
hard
their
time as an
behavior,
adult, you have to understand that like
Jess.
those consequences and those things that happen to you don't mean you have to lash out. Like, that is not what that means. You have
No,
to
but
have
I
the
think you're not
emotional
understanding what
maturity.
I'm saying.
No, I get what you're
So when
saying.
what I'm explaining is
I'm
that even
referring
a
to Rick.
child who says this is why I did it, right? Because children do have a way to like answer for what they're doing, especially when they get to a certain age. They'll say, "Yeah, I did that because you told me I couldn't get this." That's an explanation of their behavior. That does not justify it. That does not make it
No. I'm
okay.
saying like they're
No,
doing
I'm
it
not disagreeing
because
with
they
you.
don't
I'm saying,
understand.
listen to what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that even if we have an explanation, right? So if somebody says, I got touched as a child, so now I touch children, that's an explanation for why they do it. But that does not justify what they're doing. If
Yeah, so
your
that's
partner gets
like,
angry and they punch a
yeah.
wall and they say, I can't control my anger, so I hit the wall, that's an explanation, but that doesn't justify hitting walls. We
Yeah,
can
so it's
explain
because
behavior, but that doesn't justify it.
Rick was saying that like if you're like in rock bottom, like that's why people lash out or like people do things. That's not relative to like actions, just because you're having to be put in this environment or you're possibly going through some sort of trauma doesn't justify anything. And I'm agreeing with you. I think we just like kind of went on our own little tangent, which is fine. I appreciate your input.
Yeah, no, he ain't why they're doing it. They hit rock bottom, so they did a bad thing. That's why they did it, but that doesn't justify them doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
If somebody's drug addict and they come to their mom's house and they steal things, They say, I needed the money. Okay, that's why you did it, but that doesn't make it okay to do it.
Yeah.
That just tells me why you did it.
That's why, for example, right? And Jayla, you dive into it further. Some people fold. A lot of people fold in their morals, right? But Rick, there's cases where people get in situations where they might have to deviate from their morals, but it doesn't overall change their moral compass. Like someone can have this moral compass where they're a pacifist. They never want to take a life, whatever. All right. Let's say somebody breaks into their house with a pew pew and they have to fight back and possibly get in a situation where they got to take this person's life. I mean, you did what you had to do. Does that make you a bad person now all of a sudden? No, you have to defend yourself. This person put you in a situation where you had to take a life. Yeah, you took someone's life. You never wanted to, but it is what it is. As long as you're still practicing this morality you have for the most part and trying to be more consistent with it, cool. But sometimes we're going to be faced with stuff in life where we got to adapt and do something we wouldn't typically do. But just like in the examples Jayla brought up, if someone asked her, hey, do something to this child or this, she doesn't have to fold. She can stay strong in her morals and go like, I'm not finna do nothing weird to this child. Take my life. Because she's not going to decide to just be weak and fold on her morals in that situation and let this child suffer because of that.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? I get everyone's different, and some people won't fold, and some people will fold. But at the end of the day, we're all still human beings, right?
Yeah.
And some people may believe other things, like some people might believe in God, other people may not. But we're all still human. We all breathe the same air. We all live on the same planet. But the fact that one person can be so drastically different from me that, let's say, they wouldn't do it, they wouldn't unalive somebody under certain, let's say, pressure, but someone else would because of fear or whatever the case. Me and that person, we're still human. Because for somebody to say you're a good person, that should be something that I think should be universally true about everyone. Because otherwise, how do you define who's a good person if we're all human? That doesn't make sense to me, right?
Nobody's idea of a good person is people think Andrew Tate's a good person. I don't think Andrew Tate's a good person, but there's a lot of dudes that think Andrew Tate's a good person. They think he's one of morally the best type of guy to follow. But is Andrew Tate a good person? I would disagree. He likes to traffic women and stuff. Not a pretty good guy, but a lot of people think he's a good guy.
It just pissed me off because a lot of people are thinking that, like, okay, atheism doesn't mean anything but lack of belief in a God or gods. Like, I just don't think God's real. That doesn't change anything about me being a human, me being empathetic, me having the ability to have emotions. And when you, as a person that does follow a religion, see me as something that is cold or heartless or etc., you guys treat us differently, which makes us look at you guys differently. Because for the most part, people call me evil, people call me this, that, and the third, but then have treated me different just because I don't believe in a God. You're the evil person because I still see us as both human. We both bleed. And I can be nothing but nice and we can be cordial. We can have a conversation. I have plenty of Christian friends who don't judge me. But then when I'm talking to other Christians, they just see me as this cold, heartless person because I don't believe in a God or I don't believe in spirits or a soul. But that doesn't change how I feel about things that are occurring.
So my question, I like that. So
In the world.
if oh, I'm sorry.
And actually spending money to try to fix those you essentially that's a bad person. You said what?
Your Wi-Fi having trouble again?
It was just fine. See, it's fine again. I don't know. But like, yeah, when a Christian is treating me differently because I don't believe in a God, essentially they're the one being a bad person because they're judging me just for one thing and treating me differently. But me knowing that you do believe in a God doesn't change how I treat you. I still believe you're a human. I still believe you deserve respect. As long as you're not touching children or unaliving people for no reason and all that stuff, then you're pretty cool with me. But y'all are the ones that are coming here to question our moral compass.
So here's my question. So if you, I like that idea. But here's my question: do you think God is a good person? Because he is not technically he's not human. He's I mean, you probably don't believe in God, but like I believe in
Well,
God.
I don't believe in God, but based off of the Bible,
Go ahead, Jayla, you got it.
I don't believe that he's good. Okay, based off the Bible and the things that he has instructed people to do in the Bible, or some of the actions he's taken in the Bible, I do not see him as a good entity. But that he's not a person, and also I don't believe he's real. But if he was real, then no, he's not a good God.
I don't think he's all good either. I think I think he has done both good and bad, but all good, no. No.
So you don't think anybody's good? There's nobody good.
No, I never said there's no good people. I can name some people I think are good to me. I mean, my mom, Jayla. Yeah, I
Oscar.
can name some people that I think are good to me. I mean, but what I think is good is different from a lot of people. But I think what my idea of good might line up with a lot of other people.
I think that in the Bible, the Abrahamic God does a lot of immoral things, like the instruction of unaliving of animals and babies, or like washing the entire earth for something he created and essentially could snap his finger and like fix. Yeah, that's a little wild for me. Jesus telling people to unalive people at his feet, a little crazy. But like, has he done good things too? Yeah, he helped that one lady have a baby, protected people for years and stuff like that. But like, freed his own people from slavery, then turned around and told them it was okay to own slaves. I mean, it seems like a balanced person who has good and bad in him. So he's just not an all good entity. No. And I don't think anybody's all good, but I think there are good people, especially people who strive to be good people and like avoid doing bad things to people. Then yeah, that's a good person to me.
And mind you, I
But that's subjective.
and for me personally, I think there's a lot of Christians, you know, that if they ran into a situation where God instructed them to do something that doesn't line up with their morals, they're not going to agree with doing it. They might say they'll do it, but they're not going to agree with doing it. But they say God is the objective morality, but they don't agree with all of his morals.
So if we don't, so if everything's subjective, like you might think someone's good, I might think they're bad. You might think they're bad, I might think they're good. Then what's the purpose of life then? I mean, if everything's subjective, how do we know what one person is like? Who do you
Okay.
define as good then?
Well, the purpose of
Who
life
says
definitely isn't just about good or
who
bad. Like it's not like Star Wars where the balance between the light side and dark side of the force.
good and evil?
Yeah, there's good
But
and
who says
there's
we need to have a purpose?
right.
I feel like the idea of purpose is a pressure added to humans that essentially they really don't need, because a lot of people at a young one, they're not on their mark, they're not doing what they need to be doing at that age, that they're not fulfilling their purpose, when essentially you do realize that the idea of life is to just exist until you unalive. It doesn't mean you have to have this pressure of purpose, because a lot of people unalive themselves because they feel like they have no purpose. Purpose is a pressure
Right.
and a societal thing that essentially we don't even need to have it. If you're here with no purpose, but you are a good person, you just help people when you see them needing help, you don't hurt people for no reason, you don't do any of those things, then essentially you lived a good life and people remember you for that. It doesn't need to be that deep to like, yeah, well, no, you were on earth and you took care of hungry children and you gave houses to homeless people and you tried to call for a ceasefire and you spent money on the children in the cobalt mines and you did all this. Who cares? Because you didn't fulfill your purpose.
Yeah. I think now me personally, Jayla
Essentially,
brought it
then
up,
that doesn't matter either.
and I think personally, Jayla brought it up. I think one thing you make sure you do in life is leave behind a good legacy for yourself. Because if you leave behind something so bad, like let's say you Smittler, he's still talked about because of the impact of what he did in the war that he was a part of. But imagine being a person that was a nobody and you did something so bad to so many people, you're going to be forgotten so easily. But the people who actually done good things in life are remembered far more than the people who done bad things. And those people, they physically unalive, but they live on through all the good things people say about them. So, I'm not saying you have to leave
And
behind a
essentially, who
legacy.
wants to
I'm
be
just saying,
remembered for something bad?
right.
We only remember Hitler because he did a mass genocide. But then we remember people like Harriet Tubman because they freed people and they were doing good things. Which legacy would you rather leave? The one where people are talking about you negatively and they use you for every negative hypothetical question, or the good one? But it's crazy because in our society, people will focus on the bad person more, because more often than not, when I'm having debates with Christians, they'll bring up Hitler, but they won't bring up Harriet Tubman. They won't bring up people who did good things. They bring up people who did bad things to try to test my morality. Why not bring up a good person who did things to help people?
All right, here's my other question. So okay, people are born, somebody has a purpose, and they come to this world, they do good for the world, they leave a good legacy, people remember them. Oh man, that was they were an amazing person. But someone else gets born and they leave a bad purpose and they cause a lot of harm. And the cycle keeps repeating over and over and over and over and over. I've always heard people say, leave the world in a better state than you came in. Well, if people are constantly getting born, one person has a good purpose, the other one has a bad purpose. How is the world going to get left in a better shape, especially with how the world is right now? Doesn't that mean the world's going to keep getting worse and worse to the point where just because you have a good purpose and you want to do good for the world, it won't matter at that point because, you know.
Well, Rich, I'll tell you what that is, right? It's because the reality is, and I think there's a part of us that doesn't need this, so we can make sure we take care of ourselves, like self care. But there's a lot of people that take it too far, right? There's a lot of selfish people that don't want to come together to do some good things. For example, right? Recently, our Senate came together to ban TikTok, but they couldn't come together to, let's say, fix the housing situation, help out the homeless people in our country because we have a huge homeless crisis in the USA. But they came together to ban TikTok because it wasn't a platform they couldn't control, right? And it's like, wow, you guys could have really put your heads together to actually help out people instead of deleting a social media app because you don't control it. It's not under your control to do what you want as you please.
Okay, that's fair because I mean, see, personally, I'm a Christian, and I just think that for me, I mean, personally, for me, it's better to have a purpose where I know that there's going to be a better world than what we're living in now. Because I've been seeing the world how it is right now, and it's just not good. It's getting worse and worse, and it's like, and I get the idea of trying to make the world a better place and trying to do good, but people have been doing that for years, and not saying you should stop doing that, but
But essentially, then I have a question, because your God created this earth, and your God created the people on this earth with a purpose, supposedly, presupposing that He did. Why wouldn't He create it good?
Could just give everybody a good purpose instead of a bad one.
Yeah, why didn't He create? Why didn't the all powerful, all knowing God create a good earth? But instead, in Isaiah, He creates evil. Why would He create evil? What would be the purpose for that then?
well, it was back to my point to answer that. When I was talking about how do you know who's a good person, Because I was saying to Jess, because Jess was saying when I was using that analogy of you being in a pressure chamber and you rock bottom and etc. Well,
Wait, did you hear my question?
no, I heard your question. I'm answering, going back to what I was saying earlier, just to answer your question.
No, don't go back to what you're saying. Answer my question.
Okay.
So you're saying the earth is bad, it's declining, the people on it are terrible. If this is the earth that an all-knowing, all-loving, all-powerful God created, why would he create evil in Isaiah? Why wouldn't he create a good earth?
Well,
Yeah,
God didn't intend for there to be evil, but
wait, hold up, Rudy. Like,
Hold
Rick,
on.
humans chose
I'm
it.
talking to somebody specifically, dude. Right.
Because you can't know what's good without evil. And that sounds dumb. I know that sounds dumb, but without having evil, how we as humans won't be able to tell what's good and
But that's the point. So we didn't need to know what evil was. He could have essentially created us in an all good place, and we wouldn't have to know what evil is, which means children wouldn't be getting essaed and unalive. People wouldn't be experiencing a mass genocide. There would be no people enslaved and getting unalive. Like, none of that would have happened. So essentially, he could have made an earth like that. And do you think it's more important that we know what good is than it is to have a good place?
you know what, you're right on that. I think he could have, and he did when in the Garden of Eden. Obviously, the story. I know you probably don't believe in it, but Adam and Eve sinned. We fell, became imperfect, and that's when we knew about good and evil. They knew of their nakedness. Yes, he could have.
But God created that tree.
That's true. He did create that tree.
And he put it in the garden.
That is also true.
So then again, why would he do so? But that didn't answer my question. So, because why he did that is crazy. He knew that they were going to do it. He put it there. He knew all of humanity would suffer from it. What I'm asking you is, do you think it's more important that we know what good is because we have evil, or is it more important to have a good earth where there is no evil?
I think it's more important to have a good earth where there's no evil. But ultimately, I'm not God, so I can't really answer that.
No, I just asked that to challenge your logic. I know you're not God and you can't do that. But then again, that God is, if your God is real, he's up there and he's not doing that. So, what's up, Rudy?
J-Lo, I'm trying to give you props for your question. That was a good question.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So basically, just
My
answered
bad.
I as a man try to give you a compliment, and you just like, I don't hear it.
I didn't hear you giving me a compliment, K-Dot. Rudy, are you Christian, dude?
Yeah, and I was just answering your question on why God
No,
allows
don't
us
answer my question. You just got up here. So first you got to answer the prompt. So the prompt says you don't need a God or Bible to figure out your own purpose in life. You create that for yourself. Agree or disagree?
I disagree on all levels. Yeah,
Okay. Why do you disagree?
because you do need, because in order for a creation of God to understand its own existence, it needs to learn from the creator that created it. Just because you can live temporarily without one, without God, doesn't mean that that's the way that you were meant to exist. And that goes back to me answering why uh, they felt the Garden of Knowledge, at the Garden of Eden, because humans wanted to choose evil. Like, you may ask yourself, well, why would humans choose that? Well, ask yourself if you've ever lied, if you've ever stolen, and that's just where evil resides. Because there's obviously a spiritual attack on
Wait, God created evil. Humans didn't create evil.
Wait, let me just finish
No, you
I
hold
won't be
on.
any
You
longer.
saying humans created
Wait,
evil.
why are you talking
That's
over
not
me?
true.
It's
Because
like,
you're saying something that is wrong. Humans did not create evil. God did. So what you're saying is wrong. That's why I'm interjecting. In Isaiah, God creates evil.
No, I never said humans created evil. That's just adding to what I'm saying, because that's how I know you're not actually trying to listen and understand. You're just trying to argue.
Isaiah, it says God created evil. So if God created evil and he put these people in the garden, why would he do that?
I never said humans created evil. I said humans chose evil. And why did God
Well, they
create?
wouldn't have that
Hold on,
choice
hold.
if God didn't create it. Listen to what I'm asking.
Have a good day.
God
Now.
knew that they were going
Listen.
to eat from the tree and he put it there. Yeah, you're going to run from it because why would your God, who knew that these humans were going to do that, put the tree there? He could have just not put it there. So then we're blaming humans for something that the creator could have avoided. That's the same way that we blame children for doing things when it's their first time on earth, when we're the parents and we're supposed to guide them.
Right. So
If a child was doing something
I'm
bad, the first
answering
thing
the
you would do is
question.
say,
I'm
your
answering the
mom taught
question
you
and you're
this.
talking over me. That's how I know you're not trying to actually listen.
You
And
wasn't even just talking, you were just quiet. I am giving you an example of why what you're saying about how God and the apple and all that, right? If a child does something, the first thing you say is, who raised you? Because you're going to try to figure out if the parent is doing their job raising their child. So if God knew that these people were going to choose that, why would he put the tree there in the first place?
Because that was the whole point of it. The whole point was people to make a choice so they can, who can be worthy of.
Right. So basically,
go ahead, Rudy.
He again, right, it was a choice. In order for there to be good and evil, you have to choose good. And if you choose evil, that was always an option, that nothing withheld you from denying God, nothing. It was all your choice and you are to blame and you will be held responsible for your own consequences of choosing evil, just like Adam and Eve. They chose evil and now you choose evil. So then what's the disparity? Well, now that they've fallen, the curse on humanity is continued, and this world is a result of humans denying God. Have a good day.
Well, hold on. You said it was because of Adam, but didn't Jesus end that?
I thought he cooked, bro.
Didn't Jesus
have a good
end
day.
that?
Hold on, Oscar. No way you're trying to move past have a good day.
Yo, son.
You just said a whole bunch of bullshit and was like, yeah, have a good day with that bullshit I just dropped on you. You didn't cook at all because essentially the same question is still there. Why would God even create humans knowing that they would go evil? Why would he create evil?
You're
Why would he
just
put the
trying to
tree
not
there knowing that they were going to choose
You're
it?
just not
So
trying to understand. Have a
you
good.
did
That's why
not
I said have a
cook.
good day.
You just
All right,
preached
bro.
the
You gotta
Bible.
learn how to leave. You still here?
Yeah, you have a good day, but I'm gonna still sit here.
Like, ain't you like
Right.
this?
Have a good day.
All
Like,
right.
yo, who created the 7 deadly sins, homie? Who created them?
He's still here.
Because
no, because no way he just did that. He was like, yeah, humans chose evil. God, even though God created evil and God created them and put them in the garden with this tree that they could have chose not to eat from if he never put it there. Yeah. Have a good
but
day.
also he's saying that like they had the option, like they could have chosen good. They could have chosen good if they wanted to, but they chose bad. But the thing is that God knew that anyways. If he's all knowing, he should have known that they were going to choose it.
Jess, you're arguing something that's not true. Hold on.
None of this is by
Hold on.
accident.
That's not true. So essentially, right, the tree that they ate from was the knowledge of good and evil. They didn't know good and evil before they ate from it.
No, I'm saying God
So they
knew.
didn't know
God
better
knew
than
what
to
they
eat
were
from
going
it.
to choose.
Yeah,
No.
but when his whole argument was that they chose evil, they didn't know that they were choosing evil because what
That's
they
what I'm
ate
saying. No,
was
yeah, that's
something
what I'm
that taught them
saying.
about good and evil. So God could have just avoided putting it there, but he just was
He
like,
did it
yeah,
on
God
purpose.
is a
No,
bad
yeah,
God.
exactly. No, I'm agreeing with
Have
you.
a
That's
good
what I'm
day.
saying. Is like he knew that they had the option to, like him saying like, oh, it's up to them. They could have done it, but it's like no, like they couldn't have done it based
God is
on
a bad
based off their
God.
own
Have a
like
good day.
yeah. And then he said, "Have a
Crazy
good day."
take.
He thought he cooked. He thought he ate. Be for real.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro.
Whole
Like,
time
what
he
was
was
have a good day?
turned the
Like,
stove on
Bro
and
left
walked
the whole
away.
plate. He did not eat.
and then he didn't even
Nah,
leave.
he burnt the food, bro.
He burnt the food.
It
That
was
have a
bad.
good day
Whole
2 times
flame
before
coming off the
leaving.
stove. He talking about have a good day. No, sir.
All he did was
I can't have a good day with that. Bob keeps sitting up here telling us we don't know the truth. Bob, do you know the truth?
Wait, Bob. Before you,
shit.
I'm just saying, whatever you're
Bob,
saying,
hold
you
up, brother
make it
Bob.
seem like everything is
Brother
an
Bob,
accident.
Wait, brother Bob. Before you tell us the
Whoa,
truth,
Bob is on hot.
because I didn't hear
Brother
you.
Bob.
But can we get your answer to the prompt first, if you agree or disagree, and then you can tell us the truth, Brother Bob. All right, Brother Bob. Brother Bob, could you
Well, I
please?
don't think I disagree with the prompt because you can find purpose in anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you can find purpose in your life. You don't need God to find purpose. You know what I'm saying? But you will be living a lie. You'll be living a brainwashed life, believing you knew things, how things went, and then boom.
Wait, Bob.
I'm living a
The
lie.
brainwashed life is the one. Hold on, John. Rob, the brainwashed life would be following Christianity without questioning it. That's brainwash.
Yeah,
Not me questioning life and doing my own thing.
That's good. You have a brain to question it.
No, you can't question it. Job says directly, God says, do not question me.
Yeah, I don't want to end up like Job.
I didn't read it that way. I totally didn't read it that way.
No, it said that. It literally.
God asked him.
You didn't read it that way?
No.
He said he told him not to question him about what was happening to him. That's what it says there. So if you didn't read it that way, you didn't read the scripture because it literally says that.
I'm pretty sure I read it, so.
And God
Okay.
really kind of spazzed on Job in that part.
If you are the sender
he
that
really
he sent,
was like, yo,
if you're the
you
messenger,
wasn't there, nigga, when I made all this shit.
Yeah, he literally says, like, were you there when I created the earth? Don't question me. That's what he literally said. So did you really read it, Bob, or?
Yeah, Bob. Did you really read it, man? Or did your pastor just tell you this
Bob, that's
line?
what it
Listen,
says.
y'all is the one who have no alternative explanation for your existence. Okay, you're living in ignorance. You have
My mother.
nothing better. You
My
cannot
mother.
provide anything better. Yeah, you got to be smart.
And then her mother before hers, and then her mother before that.
Yeah. So where the first mother come from?
No, hold up, John. We're being attacked.
Answer that question.
Hold up, John. Hold up, John. Hold up, John. Bob, there is other explanations as to how humans ended up on Earth.
What existed before
Bob,
the universe?
there are other explanations.
Yeah, but none of them have evidence. But none of them have evidence.
Is there a time limit on the universe?
There is no evidence that explains where
There
everything
is
came from.
evidence that we evolved.
Science says it doesn't know.
No, there is evidence that we evolved.
No, it's not. You've never seen nothing evolve. You've never seen anything
No,
evolve.
actually, babies are being born right now. Hold on. Babies are being born without wisdom teeth now because we don't need wisdom teeth no more. Remember the whole group of us that had to get them removed? Yeah, these new babies.
Are babies
they don't have
still
wisdom
babies?
teeth because they're evolving.
But are babies still babies?
Nigga, what the
a whole
fuck
different thing. Listen,
do that
this is
got
a
to do
whole
with
different
evolving?
thing. Hear what I'm saying?
You don't have
This
to
is a whole
change
different thing
species
since a
because you're
dinosaur became a
evolving.
chicken.
You don't
That's what
have to.
evolution
You
says.
don't have to change species to evolve.
But that's what evolution says, though. Evolution says dinosaurs became chickens.
No,
That's
evolution
not what
doesn't say we have to change. That is not.
We've never seen
That's
that
not
kind
what
of evolution.
is. Evolution doesn't say that in order to evolve, you must change your species. Humans evolve over time the same way any other species can evolve. Certain species evolve to live underwater. Like a baby's still a baby.
We don't know that.
It's
You just believe
evolving
what they say.
to not. You believe in a Bible that you don't have any proof of.
Hey, yo,
So
homie, have you
essentially, we're
seen
both
God?
brainwashed, Bob. But hold on. So the new children.
Oh no.
Oh hell no. So my children having children, they don't have wisdom teeth. They starting to be born without it because we don't need it. We don't eat that tough meat that we.
But are those babies going to be anything other than
that
babies?
we got wisdom teeth for? Evolution doesn't mean you have to change your species, dude.
But that's what evolution says. It says dinosaurs became birds. All right, it says dinosaurs became birds. Have you seen anything like that?
Evolution does not mean you have to change your species. You can evolve as a species. This guy's a fucking NPC.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Are you even thinking for yourself?
If you didn't see anything like that, then you cannot claim
You
evolution.
can
You never
evolve.
seen it. Also, you believe
You've
in
never
faith.
seen God or religion.
I've heard God, and he communicates with me.
You've never.
I know
How can
he's
you
real.
confirm that it's
What
him?
God sound like?
You can't even confirm that it's him.
And guess what? Now most physicists.
Hello?
Most physicists say that
You can't confirm that what you heard was God.
Yes, I can. I hear it every day. I hear it
God
every
is
day.
not real. Okay, so you hear
How?
voices every day. That's called schizophrenia.
Bob, you're dead wrong about evolution, man.
What's God
If
TikTok?
you're hearing voices every day, I want you to go to the hospital.
This is
Hold
nothing
up,
you can
y'all.
never
Hold up.
see.
If you're hearing voices every day, Bob, if you're hearing voices every day, go to the hospital.
Oh, you're a
Tell them you need to
psychologist
talk
now?
to
Yeah,
somebody.
baby, that's called schizophrenia.
Actually, I do have a degree. Go to the hospital. I do have a degree. Actually, I have. All
I
right,
wanna see
thank
it.
you. Go get an evaluation.
Okay.
Are you listening?
I
Go
wanna
tell
know
them
what
that you
God
hear a
voice
voice
sound
in your
like.
in your head every day, and it's God.
Yo,
And I
yo,
want
can
you to
you
know that
bring
they're going
God
to
to
put you
talk
on
to
a
us?
72-hour hold to find something that works for you.
Can
Bob,
God
you're,
sing?
Bob, you're thinking in years when you should be thinking in millions of years.
This
It
boy
takes
is
billions,
wild.
millions of years for things to evolve. And evolution doesn't mean you change your
Exactly.
species. One species can evolve within itself.
Exactly.
Jayla, hold on. I got.
What do you
brother
think? We were just gonna get fins and fucking gills?
Oh boy.
I'm
Let
not
me-
letting him get past he heard God, and I want to know what God sound like.
Oh no, yeah, don't worry, Marla. I want to hear it too. But brother Bob,
Sound like Samuel L. Jackson?
hold up, y'all. Before y'all go too far, because I gotta pull brother Bob's card real quick.
The
Brother
reason
Bob,
why the Bible says that every knee shall bow is because people like you who
Brother Bob.
deny the existence of God on purpose. There's a
Whoa,
psychological
why is he
reason
preaching to us?
why
This
you.
nigga came off mute preaching?
brother Bob.
There's a
There's a psychological reason why you hearing
why you
voices
deny
every
the
day
evidence
too,
of
Bob.
God. You know what I'm saying? I don't have
Bob,
to
there's
deal
a
with
psychological reason why you hear a voice every day.
No, there's not a psychological reason. You're not a psychiatrist.
Nah, go. Hey,
Yes,
Bob.
it is.
Bob.
No.
Did you just say you don't know how to deal with
You're
it?
sitting here
You
talking about
supposed to
God
come
24
up
hours a
here
day
and
because you
tell us
do
what
believe.
God sound like.
You really do
have, like,
believe.
a husky
You
voice
see, the thing
or,
is, the
like,
thing that
Bob,
Bob doesn't
there
understand
is
is
a
that just because
psychological
we don't believe
reason
in
for
God doesn't mean
what
we're
you're hearing
denying
in
it.
your voice,
why
in your
God
head.
speak English?
Like, you say you hear God every day, there's a
Why
psychological
God
reason for
speak
you hearing
English?
God every day. It's something called spiritual psychosis.
That's a
Yeah,
little
if
wild.
you say so, but listen,
You think it's
people
some
say you
portals
don't
in the
believe.
Grand Canyon too?
Hello, you say you don't
We
believe.
don't.
Why do you talk
That's why
about
we're
God
making fun of
24
it.
hours a day, 7 days a week,
I don't talk
365
about
days a
God
year?
24
Yeah,
hours a day.
neither do I.
Actually, I
Hey,
don't
you
talk
know
about
what?
God
I
24
believe
hours a day.
I believe in.
I do a
Well,
lot
you have
of
a
other
podcast about
shit.
it.
I believe in a higher power. I just don't believe in the.
I don't
Christian
have a
God.
podcast. What the fuck you talking about? I don't own no podcast. I
Well,
don't
when you're
spend my
on
whole
here,
entire days talking about no God. I be with my friends. We be
who the fool
kicking it
me?
on live. I be with my man at home. I'm pregnant. I be putting my baby stuff together. I do a lot more things than sit around and talk about your God.
Then you get on here the
We don't
next
even
day
go
and do the
live
same
every
thing.
day. We don't even go live every day. We don't go live every day, Bob.
Yeah,
If you
Bob.
actually paid attention, Bob, you would know that we were actually, when we started this live, we were talking about people talking about going to the Grand Canyon for portals and shit. We weren't even talking about God.
Yeah,
We
Bob.
don't sit around and talk about God all day. This live hasn't even been like 3 hours.
I just
Hasn't
went
even
to the
been 2
Grand
hours.
Canyon and saw Helen Keller flying over.
Don't start with me, Dex. I am pregnant,
I ain't
so I
gonna hold you, yo, Bob.
take
That
leave
nigga
because I'm
profile
more
is
focused.
wild.
Sorry.
Hold on. Let me get Bob straight right quick. Bob, I'm pregnant. I have like 7 weeks until I have a baby. I have been spending majority of my time preparing for my baby. I have not been debating often because I need my blood pressure low. I have not been sitting here 24 hours. There's 24 hours in a day, and I get 8 hours of sleep every night. It's impossible for me to have been sitting here talking about God for 24 hours.
You know,
But
it's a figure of
you are
speech. I'm
making
talking
that
about you
assumption.
can't stop talking about God. That's a
We
figure of speech.
don't. We have literally had lives where we talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. We have had lives where we talk about problems in the Black community. We don't talk about God all the time, Bob.
Bob, you're causing blood pressure problems, man.
Like, we literally, no, Bob, we have had lives about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. We've had lives about problems in the Black community. We've had lives about people being age-phobic towards Lil Uzi. We have lives about all kind of stuff that have nothing to do with God. You just so happen to catch us on a God day. We don't talk about God all the time. And we don't go live every day. We do have actual lives. K-Dot works every night and shit. He about to go on a trip and shit. I'm about to have
Wait,
a baby.
he didn't even answer what God told him. What did he say? I want to know. Everyone's dying to know. What did he say?
Well, nah, why would anybody? You don't believe? Why would I tell you something if you don't believe? It doesn't make any
Well, then
difference.
you're lying because you're not going to tell
What
us.
if
You're
you
lying.
could make us
No, I'm
believe
not
by
lying, 'cause I
telling
don't
us
want
what
to share
God's
my
saying?
secrets. Because I don't want to share my
You
secrets.
don't want to share your illness, babe.
Why is it a
You don't
secret?
wanna
I want
share
to
it.
know
It's
what
okay.
God
Don't be
sounds
ashamed.
like, and I'm
Hold on,
saying
we're
this
gonna do
because
that. Do
We
not
don't want to
worry.
know what God's saying. We want to know what God sound like.
And the
we got a
reason
deep
why
voice.
I'm asking this is it's a legit valid reason. Because how do you differentiate God from anybody else or any other voice that you have ever heard? That's what I'm asking you. How do you know it was God talking to you? What voice did you hear?
You know. That's something you have to experience.
You just said you heard it.
When you know, you know.
Ears.
That's something you have to experience. There's
What
many
do it
voices.
sound like?
This is a spiritual realm. So you got demons talking to you. You got
So
angels
you
talking.
mean you? So you?
How do you? Oh, you don't got
so
demons
you
talking to
felt
you.
God. You didn't actually hear.
You
God.
got demons talking to you. That's why you believe there's no God.
No, actually, I don't hear no
I
voices
do
in my
believe
head.
in
Actually,
God.
Bob.
I just
Yes,
don't
you
believe
do.
in the
Those
same God
thoughts
as
you
you.
have are
No,
not your
Bob.
thoughts.
Actually, I don't hear voices in my head, dude.
You have not recognized it. That's all. You
Hello,
have not
No,
recognized
this
it.
is
I don't even
God.
have an inner. So you know how people have inner dialogue. 70% of the population doesn't. I'm a part of that 70%. I don't have an inner dialogue. There's no voice inside my head.
You're not
Like
becoming
I don't have that.
atheist all by yourself, man. The scripture says it clearly that many spirits have gone out into the world. There is what make
I don't
enemies of
have a
God.
spirit.
You do. Everyone does.
No, I don't. You can't force me to have that. I don't have that.
Okay, well, you can deny
Where's
it all
it
you want.
located?
One day, everyone will find out.
Where's it located?
This is why I can't be a Christian.
Hold on, Kang. Where's the spirit located inside of my body?
I don't know. I don't know all that.
You
All
said
know
I
is
have
it's
one.
ministry.
Everybody has one. Where are they located?
Everyone has one. And when Adam fell, it gave Satan power over all mankind.
Yeah,
So
no, that doesn't tell me where the spirit is located inside of my body. If everybody has one. No,
It's in your
everybody
flesh.
does
It's
not
in
have
your
a
body.
voice in their brain. I
don't
want
know.
y'all to
I
go
don't-
research that. There are
That's what the
70% of the
scriptures say.
population that doesn't have a voice in their head. 30% of the population does. When you think 30%, that is not a little bit of people because 3% of the population is already million.
Again, you didn't come to an atheist on your own. Those
I
thoughts
did
were-
actually. My parents are both pastors.
Yeah, see,
And
that's
my dad
crazy.
has
That's
a
even
theology
crazier.
degree. If you listen, you can figure out why I became an atheist. Both of my parents are pastors. My dad has a theology degree. I read the Bible when I was 15 and decided this was not true. This is full of a lot of things that are illogical. And I don't like that this God is okay with slavery and the unaliving of children and all this stuff. So I'm going to let this go. And I've been pretty anxiety and depression since I finally let go of that shit.
Okay, like I said, like when anybody reads the Bible, that those you get attacked. You get those thoughts and you become an atheist. That's what makes atheists.
I didn't think to become an atheist. I just one day decided I was going to read the entire Bible. If I had found that it was true, I probably would have stayed.
I mean,
but
think
I don't think
about it,
I
Bob.
How would you find that it was?
So you saying that was God's will?
Think about it, God. Bob, does God, I mean, you think about this. Is it okay to seize a woman and then go into her, as the Bible calls it, and then, you know, because she's a virgin and not accounted for, betrothed, going into her, you just pay 50 shekels to her dad. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. Come on.
That was the culture that the Hebrews
It
had
doesn't
at
matter
that
if
time.
it's a culture. It's what God sponsors.
What I'm trying to say, it was not God's orders. It was their culture. Women had
But
no rights
he
then.
condones it by saying if a man sees a woman that is not betrothed, he can seize her and go into her. I mean, that's wrong, man. It doesn't matter when it happens.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let's establish something here first. First of all, don't you believe
establish that shit is messed up?
Hello, don't you believe that morals are subjective to begin with?
Yeah, morals are subjective.
So if morals are subjective and it was right in their culture at that time, it was right to them, wasn't it? So,
but it's still in the book as something that's condoned, Bob.
What's the definition of subjective morals? Isn't it?
Bob,
a society
you can't cherry pick your
Bible. So, like, the Bible is okay
what I'm
with
saying is
people
that you're a
being
hypocrite.
enslaved, but that doesn't mean
You
I'm
are a
okay with it
hypocrite.
because that's subjective.
You come from a
No, that's
society
proof
that
of
had-
you're literally proving subjectivity. If the Bible says slavery is okay and I say no, I don't agree with this, that is my subjectivity. Because the Bible, it was okay because of the time period and the yada 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 context, whatever. But I still think it was wrong. That's because it's subjective. You're proving that it's subjective.
No,
that's all you're
you
proving.
view it as subjective. You view it as subjective.
No, it is
That means
subjective.
No, that means that
Bob,
it's not
you think it's
wrong.
okay to own humans?
Bob,
I'm saying to
could
you,
the Israeli,
Bob, do you think it's okay to own humans?
Hello, you're saying it's subjective.
Answer my
means that-
question. Do you think
I'm not even
it's
finished
okay
my
to
question.
own? Fucking gosh. Do you think it's okay to own humans, Bob?
Of course not.
Could the
Okay,
Israeli
subjectivity,
army,
because
I'm
your
sorry.
Bible disagrees with you.
No,
Could the-
I have objective,
What?
not subjective. I believe in objective morals, not
How is it
subjective.
objective if the Bible says it's okay to own slaves, but you say
No,
it's not
the Bi-
okay? That's
Okay,
not
but first you
objective.
need to first you need to understand the Bible standpoint. Genesis
Could
6:5 says that all men are evil. They do evil continually, the evil that they imagine in their hearts. So when God said slavery to those enemies of
Why are you
Jews,
giving me a scripture that does not change that it's subjective?
hello, ma'am, I'm trying to explain to you that it was justice in God's
What's up,
sight.
J Rob? I'd rather deal with J Rob. Hey, J Rob.
What up?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
seen you in these TikTok streets lately, man.
yeah, I've been trying to keep my sanity, man. That's it.
Yeah, I took a break too. They've been getting a little
Jayla?
crazier. You been seeing the people crying over the Grand Canyon?
What? What happened at the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, it's this old man. He like, we need to get to the Grand Canyon now, and like he's crying and shit. And they're saying like there's portals in the Grand Canyon, and they think that the Grand Canyon is ancient Egypt. Like it's getting crazy in the spiritual world, bro.
I heard that. I heard something about Grand Canyon takes you to Egypt or something.
Rashad
Yeah,
Jamal
there's
was the one
a
saying that back in the
and
day.
he been crying. He been saying like, we need to get, the spirit is calling. We need to get to the Grand Canyon. Like he been crying about it, literally.
That's why I'm gonna look that up.
I might send it to you on my main page.
Yeah.
Because he sent a couple videos. He also drew some figures and was like, I need to get in contact with 50 Cent. Yeah, that guy. He's like, he has some pictures, like he's been drawing pictures. He's saying he needs to communicate with 50 Cent, like they need to link up or something. It's yeah, the spiritual world's getting crazy, bro.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Dex has a question for you and Bob, but yeah, I'm gonna send you that.
Wait, real quick, I just want to touch up on that point. The Old Testament laws were not the objective morality. They were the Bible says that they were like a schoolmaster for Israel until the objective moral standard came, which was Jesus Christ. So it was kind of like progressive revelation. But yeah, go ahead.
But J Rob, Jesus said he didn't come to abolish the laws, and the laws will stay in effect until heaven and earth pass. That still hasn't happened. So my question is this: per those laws, would it be okay for Israel right now to take slaves from the Palestinian and Gaza people?
Well, hold on. You have to understand what Jesus was saying. If you think that what he meant by that is that like everyone must abide by the written principles of that law, that's not what he meant. Continue reading what he said, right? He said, so there's a reason why he said what he said, right? He said, hey, look, guys, don't think that I'm coming to abolish the law. That's not what I'm coming to do. I came to fulfill the law, right? So he said, so wait, hold on. He said that because he's saying, hey, look, what I'm about to do is going to seem like I'm abolishing the law, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm fulfilling it, right? I'm bringing you to the truth.
But the old laws don't go away. If you buckle your seatbelt, J Rob, if you buckle your seatbelt, J Rob, if you buckle your, okay, go ahead.
Let me finish, right? Because he goes into the law, right? He says, you heard it be said, right? Of the old law, right? Of the law of Moses. You heard it be say eye for an eye, right? That's in the Old Testament law, right? But he said, but this is what I say unto you, right? Do not hate your brother without cause. Or also, you heard it be said, don't commit adultery. But this is what I say, right? Do not look at a woman with lust. And then when we go further into the scriptures, we see that Jesus, he the laws regarding the kosher eating, the laws regarding the food, right? He says that all things are clean. It's not what goes into your mouth that defiles you, but what comes out of your mouth is what defiles a man.
Okay.
So Jesus
fair enough. You've
not
answered the question. Thank you. And now let me retort. God said that none of the laws shall be changed or in any way altered. So Jesus came in and altered them. So that one way shows he's a false prophet or false Messiah. And number two, Why couldn't Jesus just said you cannot own humans as property, because God absolutely condones owning people as property. Again, my question still holds, but I ask you, when you buckle your seatbelt, do you fulfill the law? It's yes or no. Do you fulfill the law if you buckle your seatbelt?
When I buckle the seatbelt, I'll abide by the laws of the land.
Yeah, but does that law go away? Of course not. Buckling your seatbelt is a law that's continuous, just like God's laws are continuous until heaven and earth pass. So again, my question to you then, J. Rob and Bob, given all that, does Israel, per the Old Testament, have the right to go and take slaves and own them as property today?
So today, no, because the Bible says that we are to love every man as ourselves. Right?
But obey your slaves, even the harsh ones. Obey your slave masters, even the harsh ones. It also says that. So again, is it okay for Israel to take slaves from the Palestinians?
Hold on. It also says it also says that God hates divorce. It also says God hates divorce, right? But it also gives provision for people to get a divorce, right? Wait, hold on. Just because there are laws regulating a certain issue does not mean that God in any way, shape, form, or fashion is saying that this issue is good in and of itself.
Do you understand why your book is so misinterpreted now? Because there's so many different consistency issues and irregularities in the Bible that call out interpretation errors. And I think I'll step off for a little bit and let Jayla and others handle this, but you get my point. It's wrong.
It's really not hard. It says love everyone as yourself. I mean, it's
but
not
slaves, obey your slave masters, even the harsh ones. I can come back at you with every little saying that you say from the New Testament.
Every time you open your mouth, you show that you don't understand the Bible at all. The Christian is supposed to be submissive.
Okay, Bob. I know the book better than you do, Bob.
No,
so you can keep yapping about it.
Submissive.
Paul says to be like turn the other cheek. If a person hits you, resist not evil, turn the other cheek. That's what it says.
So be a good little slave.
If you ended up being a slave,
yeah, be a good little slave.
Yes,
don't get angry when they whip you.
Submit to one
Turn
another,
the
the
other
Bible
cheek
says.
and be strong and walk away. Let them treat you like that. Let them make oil out of you. Let them feed you to each other because you're being a good little slave for God.
It's okay.
Yeah, because the Bible says, "Vengeance is mine; I will repay evil." So we're supposed to turn out anything that happens to us. We're supposed to turn it over to God.
I have no problem being a good little slave, Bob. It's cool, dude.
Well, Jayla, I mean, if you and your family were enslaved,
that's wild, man.
If I was a slave, I would be unalived. Okay. J. Rob, if they had enslaved me, I would have been unalived. I would have been trying to run away. I would have been revolting. I would have been doing all that.
So just
think about it is that we serve a God that's very present.
Bob, be quiet.
So just forget about your children, like just have.
No, they probably gonna get unalived too. Cause my baby, he the type of he can talk back. I let my son talk back to me and tell me what's wrong with what I'm saying.
So you would rather.
So I'm pretty sure if they told him to go do something, then he gonna be like, I don't want to do that, and he gonna be gone too. We all gone.
So you would rather have your family be unalived and tortured?
Yep. Unalive us instead of enslaving us for hundreds of years. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Bob.
I mean,
what the Bible's trying to say is
what was it that Killmonger said?
You want me to submit my children to slavery where they might get lashings or something crazy because they don't want to do what these people are saying to do, or they might get touched. They might get literally enslaved. I should be okay with that.
Wait, Jayla, what do you?
Where would the black race be? Hold on,
I can't hear J. Rob, y'all.
Wait, Jayla, what do you think? What do you think these monsters did to the like rebellious slaves? Like, you think they just said, okay, let's just peacefully unalive them, or
I would rather die with my dignity than to submit.
Yes.
Thank you, Jayla. That is absolutely right.
So you would rather have your children.
I'm not turning the cheek, J. Rob. I'm not submitting. And first off, one of my babies light skinned. They might take him into the house and let him learn to read.
Yeah,
So he might have been good, but the other one ain't gonna be good. I mean, when it comes down to it, I probably would have took my children down to the river and just did a group unaliving, because I'm not submitting my children to torture. I'm not submitting my children to the fact that they might be SA'd on a breeding plantation to create more slaves. I'd rather die with my dignity than submit to a slave master. That's okay. I know you see it as wrong. Maybe you don't have children. I have children. I'd rather my children be unalived. I'd rather take my children to the lake, we go underwater, and we don't
you guys
come
know
back up,
you
than
guys
to
know,
submit them to
do you know
a
it's a
slave owner,
lie?
maybe touching them inappropriately, or I can't do that. I'm gonna unalive me and my children. I'm not gonna submit my children to being SA'd, tortured, whipped, or worked till they can't work no more. I don't give a fuck. I'm dying with my dignity. I'm taking my children with me. I don't care.
Do you guys know it's a lie that the light skinned slaves were in the house? You guys know that's a lie?
Like, can we take a moment though? Because the
Dude,
guys,
I was making a joke. My son is not fully black, and even the people, even on his other
Black
side of
slaves
the
were in the
ancestry,
house
they
too.
were
Dark-skinned
enslaved
slaves were in
too.
the
So
house too. That's actually
listen to what I'm saying. I made a joke. Maybe you don't have that type of humor, but when it comes down to it, my son, even on his other side of his ancestry, would have been enslaved
Yeah, well, I believe
by
God
the
gave.
Spaniards.
I believe God gave us, the ability to use rationality to endure.
Did you just call me what I think you just called me?
Well, what are you saying?
Did you just say that to me?
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Dale or whatever his name is. Oh, he quiet now. Go ahead, J Rob. You can go ahead, J Rob. He ain't gonna say it again.
No, I was just saying that I believe God gave us like the ability to endure suffering, the ability to overcome evil, and with God on
I
our
don't want to
side.
endure it though.
I mean, but God.
Just because I
makes
have the
it fun.
ability to endure something doesn't mean I will want to endure it, right? So like I have the ability to give birth, but that doesn't mean I should like be just doing it every day. Like, yeah, I mean I've done it multiple times and I'm about to do it again. I'm still like, oh yeah, this shit's gonna hurt. Just because I have the ability to give birth doesn't mean I have to give birth. I choose to do that. So I can choose to endure this because of the ability that I was given, or I can choose not to do it.
But you're willing to
So
do
me
it.
choosing not to do it is still okay.
But you're willing to go through the suffering for the prize of a beautiful child, right?
Not everybody's not willing to go through the suffering.
I'm saying,
and not everybody who's pregnant suffers.
No, I'm saying you.
Why are you thinking that just because I'm pregnant I'm suffering? What if I'm not suffering? What if I'm having a good pregnancy?
No, I'm saying like the childbirth. That's beautiful, y'all. Like there's no pain.
Yeah, one of my childbirths I actually laughed while I was giving birth.
Was you high?
No, but it didn't hurt.
Wait, so you did naturally? You didn't?
I have had a baby naturally, yes, twice. It didn't hurt. Actually, 15 minutes later, I was up walking around, packing our bag, taking pictures of them. Perfectly fine because my body was designed to do it. What?
You had no pain?
No pain medication, no epidural, 100% natural childbirth. My baby is about to be 2. I didn't take any medications because I didn't want it to cross the placenta and cause him to have any heart drip like drops, because we would have had to get a C-section. He turned around in my body. They turned him back around. The doctor put her hand up there, thinned out my cervix. 100% naturally, I felt all of these things, and I gave birth to him. And 15 minutes later, I got up and packed our bags so we can go to our next room and took pictures of him and everything. No pain, no medicine.
Still no pain? Like,
no because
pain
you're
all?
a man, you don't understand that pushing out babies is actually a release. It feels like taking a big dump. It's like, finally, this is over.
That is crazy.
It wasn't that funny, guys.
No, it's so serious. It feels like a big dump. I'm not even making this up, y'all.
Afterwards. What? How long before
like that
you're
one South
ready?
Park episode.
It's relieving because you've been having contractions.
How long before that joyous moment?
Yeah, and them contractions painful?
Literally I went from 5 centimeters So they weren't that painful for me. I was actually rapping some Kodak lyrics. Don't ask. And I was rapping music. I was just chilling. I went from 5 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 15 minutes, and he came out pretty much on his own. The doctor came in and was like, "You need to stop moving. You need to stop talking. You need to stop. Just stop," because he was already out. And I was supposed to wait for him to come out because they needed to make sure if he needed to go to the NICU or not. I couldn't stop him. So it was pretty relieving. Like, it's just like this big amount of pressure. Like if you had like, say you didn't poop for like 7 days, like a lot of pressure, and then ploop, that's it.
Jayla, you a different breed, man. I ain't.
I'm not a different breed. Somebody in the comments is agreeing because she's had 3 natural childbirths. The pushing part is not the part that's the worst. The contractions can be pretty bad, but I have a high pain tolerance. I once broke my own toe. Don't ask. I did it though.
It depends, though. It depends. How big are
With
you?
a hammer.
So, Jayla, are you saying that what Eve did to everybody and cursed all the women didn't affect you?
She didn't curse every woman. Did you know some women can actually experience an orgasm while pushing a baby out?
It wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Yeah, you can have something called hypnobirthing, where birthing is actually a joyous experience where you don't feel pain. You can actually do counter pressure to avoid the pain. No, it's not rare. A lot of women are practicing it. You can also like do counter pressure where you like push on your hips in the opposite direction. Your partner can help you by assisting the baby out where it doesn't hurt. Actually, it hurts more to give birth to a baby laying on your back than it does to stand up because gravity will assist you. There's a lot of things that Western medicine don't tell women about giving birth, but yeah, you can do it without pain.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I'm about to do it again for the 4th time. I'm telling y'all, it's not always painful.
Hey, J-Rob, I've never asked you this. Do you believe that the Earth is round or flat?
Oh shit!
You shouldn't have asked him that. Not a Bible.
I'm sorry. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Round.
She didn't answer.
Okay, cool.
He said round.
Cool.
You said the Bible says it's round?
But the Bible doesn't say that.
Dude.
So.
It does.
Yeah,
Yes, the
it does
Bible
say
does say that God is looking upon the circle of something.
It does say that, yeah.
The Bible says that God looks upon the circle. So that would.
The Bible also says it's flat too, though.
Nah, I didn't say that.
No, that's not what it says. That's what people are interpreting it as.
Yeah, it didn't say it's
a dome.
Not what it's.
A dome could be
that
round.
It talks about God looking upon the earth.
A dome could
it
be
describes
round and
a
flat.
circle.
Yeah, and the Bible.
I can look at a circle.
How is it a round and
I
flat?
can look at a circle
the Bible is
from
correct.
the top, and it'll be.
You can't.
The Bible uses a lot.
A dome is not round and flat.
Yeah,
it's either round or flat. Because round alludes to the fact of no. Listen to what you're saying. A dome can be round and flat, right? Yeah, but domes are 3D shapes. So you calling it round alludes to the fact that it's not flat.
Yeah, the Bible.
It's a 3D shape. It's half of a sphere.
It's a sphere, yeah, exactly.
Is it shaped like a quarter?
Well,
no, what she's describing, a dome is half of a sphere. It's a 3D shape. It's not flat. Dome is not flat. It's 3D.
I just said the bottom
it's half of a
it is
sphere.
flat.
Yeah,
no, the Bible
but
didn't say
if
the Bible doesn't say that the earth
if
is
the
flat.
bottom of a dome wasn't flat, then it wouldn't be a dome.
No, you can't say that a dome is round and flat. That changes
Like
the fact that it's 3D.
I just said
Snow globes are not flat. They're 3D.
A snow globe is both round on the top and then flat
Nice
on the
try,
bottom.
flat at the bottom.
They have.
I think you're not getting it.
There is a
The
such
dome
thing as
is
a
the only
bottom of a
round
snow
thing. The thing that covers.
No, it's actually half of a sphere and it's a 3D shape. So to describe a 3D shape, but put the word flat in it, changes the fact that it's 3D. That's the point. These words do mean things.
So is a cube round?
No, but it's not flat. What does that mean?
But the size of a cube is flat, right?
I got to ride.
No, it's a 3D shape.
The size of the shape.
You don't take a shape and
Hold on, let me open my
separate the parts of it because the shape is the entire thing.
Think of an egg, okay?
When J-Rob dips because the conversation's going off the rails, you know.
Well, you know what? It's not even just that. It's not even just that. You want to take the word of a Bible that was written before people realized that Earth was not heliocentric and all that.
Amen to that.
They didn't even know about
First of all,
geocentric.
I
They were
never said
still
I
on
agree with nobody.
geocentric models, and they were. This is before developing the heliocentric model, where the sun is in the middle and everything rotates around it. They used to think the Earth was in the middle, and all the other stuff rotated around the Earth. These people were discovering how the shapes of these planets and how they worked in the universe were even. So you're going to take the word of the book that was written before those models were discovered?
And I figured it out. I think King just wants the Bible to be false so he can do Batiman things.
What?
The Bible is false.
Even if the Bible was real, I'm still going to do what I want.
Yeah, why should I say?
Figured you out, buddy. Figured you out.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going to let a
Tell me
book
what I
that
should and shouldn't
happened
do.
before people discovered that Earth was moving around the sun. You're going to let that dictate your life?
He was speaking as a Christian. So when he came with that, the earth is round, and saying that the Bible said the earth is round, I was just saying that I read in the Bible that the Bible said the earth was flat.
No, the Bible speaks of a firmament, but that does not allude to it being flat, because the Bible also talks about God looking upon the circle of the earth in a round
The Bible-
shape.
It also says something about laying the earth on its foundation and all this other shit.
You know what else it says?
Allude to like
Islam
It
teaches
also
The Bible
says
teaches
that it also
I
says
don't
that at the
care.
core of the earth, the Bible also says at the core of the earth. So how can earth have a core if it is not?
Something can be flat, something can be on a surface and still have a core of that surface.
If we were on the same surface, the core would be on top. All right, never mind, bro. You got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Man, come on, buddy.
I don't even want to talk about it no more.
You can't have a core with a flat Earth. You can't. You don't, because it's a
You
sphere.
can,
So then,
though.
where would the core be? The core would be
if it's
affecting us.
You know what?
You know, the core of the Earth is in depth. How many miles into the Earth is the core?
If I think about the Earth like a mountain, and the top part of the Earth is what we are on, and it's a dome over top of that, there would be a core to that. There would be-
I
there
actually
will also be a
question.
foundation.
If we're
It will also
on,
be-
listen to the question again. If we are on a flat Earth, and the core is how many miles in the Earth, where would that be located? If we were in half of a sphere, it wouldn't be located anywhere near us. So then, where would it be?
Damn,
Floating in space.
buddy.
It would be It would be floating in space. It wouldn't be connected to the Earth because of how many miles below the Earth it has to be. Otherwise, we would be affected by it. The core of the Earth is volcanic.
So you saying space is real?
So the core of the Earth is miles deep into the Earth, right? And so it's a volcanic circular shape. And that if we could have a half of an Earth, how deep it is in the Earth, it would be floating in space because it wouldn't be a part of Earth because we're only half of Earth. We're a sphere in a dome. That's the point. We wouldn't have a core.
Maybe if the Earth was thick enough, they could have a core.
Yeah, just maybe.
I'm just trying to help out the flat earthers here.
Because flat Earth doesn't design for the core.
It's ridiculous. Such a ridiculous theory.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about volcanoes' core, Racer. I think you missed the entire conversation. We're talking about the Earth's core, not a volcano's core. The core of the Earth is volcanic, though.
You're an atheist? You're an atheist? You're an atheist?
Yeah, I'm an atheist.
Weirdo.
Okay. Like, what? What did that mean? Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?
There's no other way to be but Christian.
They are the same, bro. And I hate
Ew, terrible person. Ew,
Christians is wild.
perverted, terrible guy on this panel that we have. Weird and terrible.
You figured me out so fast.
Immoral, brainwashed sheep that we have.
Oh my gosh, you figured me out.
Like, what was the point of that? I didn't insult you just because you believe differently than me.
Insult
You're
your
still
son.
human. No, I didn't. So listen to what I'm finna say to you. Just because we're two different humans with two different beliefs doesn't change the fact that we both bleed, and I can respect you as a human. I don't have to call you weird or say all these bad things about you just because you believe in a God. I didn't ever disrespect you
You
because
know
of
what?
that.
I respect you because I see SSJ in your name, meaning you watch Dragon Ball Z. Shout out.
I don't. This is not my account, but
Oh, you
I'm
weirdo!
still a good person.
You weirdo!
Okay.
What's up?
You
What's
see
up
the
with you, my
ignorance
guy?
in you as opposed to me?
Like, what's good with you, dog?
I'm an 8-month pregnant female that is holding her temper very well and dealing with humans all day in the hot ass summer.
Is this the Holy Spirit
being
in
super
you?
nice to you, and
That's what
you're
I'm saying.
bearing
It's
fruits
like,
of the
if I didn't
spirit
know
that do
nothing
not
about
align.
nothing, and I heard how a Christian is
Guys,
talking
all right,
versus
let me
how
say
an
this. Let me
atheist
say
is
this.
talking.
Ken, hold up. Let me just say this. You guys have been quite rude. I think you guys owe me an apology. Thank you.
Yo, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go suck yourself.
Well, maybe if you, I can give you the apology. It's on your desktop for your app. You got to close the app first to go get it.
Oh man.
Exactly. Let me email it for you.
You say the Bible says
read
the
it. Yeah,
earth
close the
is
app.
flat, but the Bible comes before the heliocentric model where people realize that the sun was at the center and that the other planets go around the sun. So why would we believe those
I said
people?
the earth is
They didn't
round.
even know.
Kang was the one that
Not
said
you.
the
I'm talking about somebody in the
First of all, I was
comments.
about to say, I didn't say
Somebody in the comments.
that the earth
Be
was
quiet.
nothing. I said what the Bible said. That's what I said to a person.
Oh,
who
they saying
claimed
you got
they
that
were
Judas
Christian.
spirit.
So you think
They
that
saying you
owning
got
people
that
is,
Judas spirit, Dale.
you think that owning people as property, Dale, is good then?
I'm too handsome to have that spirit.
What the fuck? No, we're not talking to this guy anymore.
No, can you pay attention?
Later,
That's
Dale.
his actual
No,
question.
I'm not talking to him anymore. He's making me uncomfortable. I feel
Dale,
uncomfortable
you better
with
hurry
this
up and
guy's
redeem
presence.
yourself, brother. You're on a short string here.
You know, there's no redemption. He's just making me uncomfortable. And not just because he's a man, but because of how he presents himself. It's actually disgusting.
Say he's a single
Giovanni,
mother.
I invited you. Be quiet. Giovanni, I invited you up here. We can talk about this portals in the Grand Canyon if you want to, dude. But I'm not about to sit here and keep on doing the commenting back and forth. So you're welcome to do that if you want. Kidda, are you on the phone?
In the Grand Canyon. It's crazy.
It just when you say it out loud or you write it, it just sounds crazy. Like, be fucking for real. If you could believe in a God, that's cool. But like portals in the Grand Canyon is a different level of like wilding. Kidda, are you on the phone?
Nah, Dale look like a weirdo. I just went to his page. He got 9 followers. That told me everything I need to know.
Dale was in another life being disrespectful and saying some off the wall stuff. Yeah, his presence has already made me pretty uncomfortable. So I just decided to stop giving him my attention.
How he even able to come in a box with 9 followers?
So that's what I was explaining earlier, but that guy cut me off. So TikTok has made it to where if you can validate your age and like you can use your ID, your debit card, your credit card, your passport, whatever, to validate you're over the age of 18, then they will give you live access. So people can now join with like 0 followers to like 20 followers and all that stuff. And so we're getting a lot more trolls on the panels. I think that was a pretty not smart thing for them to do, but they did it.
Oh yeah, he only has 9 followers.
Yeah, they can get on with 0. So I don't know if the mods have heard this already, but me and Kidda was talking about it. Only accept people with about like maybe like 70 to 100 followers. Depending on what their page looks like, go for 200 and above to try to avoid that troll situation, or ask them a question in the comments, see what they're like talking like. If they're in the comments and they only have like 70 followers, but they're like hard down arguing with people, then sensibly we can say, yeah, they can come up here. They're obviously like real, but yeah. I'm out of breath. K-Dot left me here. There's that. K-Dot left me here to go talk to his girlfriend, so Y'all are stuck with me, I guess, or am I stuck with y'all?
Are there any Christians in the chat?
I don't really feel like dealing with Christians. Like I said, I'm inducing in 3 weeks. I'm not really in the headspace of debating, even though supposedly I've been cooking today. Just not where I'm at.
You got 3 weeks left?
I'm inducing in 3 weeks. I really have 6 weeks left. But I'm inducing in 3.
You're on the watch right now.
I'm doing it myself, like I did with my first kid, because I have no health issues, so there's no reason for them to induce me. But I'm literally like throwing up 24/7, suffering, can't sleep. Like, I have this giant baby that measures 2 weeks ahead, and they don't want to help me breathe again or get him out. So I'm just taking it into my own hands and get him out. He's head down, everything's safe. So.
Are you gonna, once you give birth and everything settles down, is there gonna be a scheduled party night with the family and friends to go out and enjoy yourself a little bit and after, all this?
I haven't been outside of my house without my children in 5 years.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've been home for 5 years. My kid's turning 5 in September.
That's not terrible though. I mean, it could be in worse places, right? You're with your family, so that's good.
Kids. I chose to have kids, so essentially I knew what I was giving up. That means no quiet house. That means no alone time for real. That means constantly having somebody wanting my attention. And I knew that. So when I signed up for it, I'm not like really sad about like, oh, I don't go out often. First off, I don't like people, so I'm okay. And for the most part, when my kids go to sleep, I can chill by myself.
There you go.
Yeah, I know what I signed up for. And I'm locked down to it for about 18 more years. So, and I keep starting that 18 years over again and again. And why did he think Kang was a guy?
I heard somebody tell me a theory you've probably heard before. It's called the serpent seed theory, where they said that the serpent in the garden got Eve pregnant and gave birth to Cain, and Cain was the birth of Satan, and Abel was Adam and Eve, and it's just a whole theory that's kind of fringe.
So it's not really it is kind of based in the Bible, because the Bible says that like he was born with skin that was like scaly, basically.
Yeah,
and so the theory is that it wasn't like she bit into a fruit, that she actually slept with the serpent, and then one of the twins, there was the serpent, and one of the other twins' father was Adam. So yeah.
Yeah, they're saying something that Eve said that when Cain was
the Bible
born,
says
that
he
it
was born with scaly
with the help of the
skin.
Lord or something like that. But they didn't say that for Abel.
It says in the Bible he was born a snake, low key. But like, I just took it like he got eczema.
He needs to take one of those new designer meds that you see on commercials.
Kang, if you've been talking, we ain't hearing you.
Oh no, I ain't been saying nothing. I just been listening.
You had eczema, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I've been working on getting this topic together about Loki being the Christian god. Because Loki is like the god of tricks, and you see how the Christians and the Muslims be like going back and forth all the time, and they tricked up and they don't know which one is right. And I think he's getting a good laugh out of that. That's Loki's favorite thing. I would argue that that Loki would be the god of the Christian Bible, because the Bible is confusing too. Contradictions everywhere. Like he made it just to watch them be divided. But don't take my word on it. I don't really.
Yeah, I'm not even joking about this. He said it was
What is
plasma.
that even? How?
I don't even know, because he said, I'm like, it says water. He goes, well, plasma can take any form when it comes to that part of water when you steam. I'm like, how did the boat survive? It was made of wood. This guy pushes some crazy
This is
conspiracy.
some BS.
He says that the guy that carried Jesus's cross was named Simon. He tried to float a theory that Simon was low-key Judas's father, and that he was the one that was crucified instead of Jesus.
Simon and Peter and them were all about the same ages.
This guy's, he's Muslim, and he comes out and spouts some crazy theories out there.
K-Dot, are you back? I saw a Muslim on the streets debating with this guy, and he was basically trying to say like that the Christians were CUCKs, and I'm like, that is not haram. You should not be calling people that. He was saying a whole bunch of stuff about the man. K-Dot, is you back?
I'm here.
Yeah, you left me here.
No, I did.
Yeah, and I got harassed by a weirdo.
He didn't like when I called him Judas.
It's all your fault. You always leave me here.
Because you boss. You got this, boss.
I don't want to be the boss. I'm fucking tired. I'm big as fuck pregnant. I want to have the freedom of just getting up and going to the bathroom as many times as I have to and all that shit. And I can't do that because I don't want your life to get got by some trolls or something. Winter's been on pause this entire time. I don't even know how they're still up here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we had to close it up anyways. I had to hit up my girlfriend anyways.
Is that not what you were doing? Were you asleep?
I don't know what happened. I think I fell asleep. I don't know. I'm tired. I don't know. Shit. What you want me to do, Jayla? I can't remember if I fell asleep. I think I did.
He was asleep, y'all. Because he still ain't listen from work. You got to work tonight? Nope. You off.
Nah, I'm working tonight.
What? What, you working till you go to the airport?
Nah, I'm leaving Friday. I leave Friday morning. I fly out Friday morning.
Do you still want ultrasound pictures? Are you still going to be talking to us?
Yeah, I mean...
Ultrasound on Friday.
Yeah.
This is my last ultrasound.
Yeah, I'll still be able to see it Friday.
Yeah, it's my last ultrasound. Yeah, have a good day, King. I hope you follow and come back around. This is not my real account, but I'll have my real account on Saturday. So.
All right, y'all be easy.
You too. Yeah, Kate, this is my last ultrasound. You should want a picture of it.
I'm down. I'll get a pic of it. I mean, you gonna save it. If I don't get it, then I'll just get it. You know, when
I mean, pretty soon y'all gonna see him in real life because I'm getting him the fuck out. He gotta go. He gotta go. I'm not waiting no more. He gotta go.
Have you got a name? Have you and your significant other chosen a name?
Yeah, he's had a name this whole time. I think everybody up here knows his name.
Oh, okay.
Oscar, don't you know his name?
Saturn? Or is that the one already? Okay. I've been paying attention.
Everybody knew his name.
I've been paying attention.
I thought everybody knew his name was Saturn. I thought we all knew.
Yeah.
Dex doesn't come around anymore. Yeah, Dex, everybody knows his name is Saturn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty cool name. I have a new middle name because people keep telling me they know people named the middle name that I had. So, yeah. I'm not telling nobody that one, but y'all gonna know soon enough because he got to get the fuck up out of here. I can't do this shit no more.
What was the old middle name?
Atreus.
Okay. I never met nobody named Atreus.
But it's two people telling me, oh yeah, my baby middle name is Artreus, and the lady at the hospital said her friend baby name Artreus. Baby. Now I got to change it. But he getting the fuck up out of here soon, so y'all gonna know it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Cause he gotta go. I can't do this shit no more.
I had a theory, Jayla, for you.
You got a theory for me?
Before
Text it
he
to my
hangs
main
up.
account.
Okay.
He hanging us up.
All right, he gotta go.
Yeah, he gotta go talk to his girlfriend because he fell asleep.
And
Yeah, Oscar got a theory, so he texted it to me on my main page. Or wait, Kate, do you want to hear the theory or?
Yeah. Oscar, say your theory real quick.
All right. So Jayla's been saying Loki is the real god of the world. Whoop de whoop, right? And so you know how Christianity comes after Judaism, right? So, so since Judaism comes before Christianity, in the Old Testament, the son of Israel was always the son of God was always Israel in the Old Testament. And then when we look at Christianity, the son of God was Jesus. So when he got crucified on the cross, that was symbolizing Israel's defeat. Because if y'all looked at what was going on during the time when that first gospel dropped out, it was Israel losing, the Jewish people losing to the Romans. I don't know how Loki see it as a joke, but yeah, it would have been easier to explain if I had some feedback. But tell me what you think.
It's pretty plausible that that's true because Israel at that time was at a defeating point of like the fall of Israel. So, I mean, the whole Bible is pretty symbolic to me. I never took it as literal. It's bullshit. It doesn't make sense literally. But yeah, let's wrap this up. Keep God in your life.